Okay, so this is a video I've been wanting to make forever, and I'm finally gonna do it. I love flags so much. So today's video is all about ranking flags on this tier list. Today we'll be looking at the flags of Asia, and I will be ranking them. I guess like not all of these countries are considered Asian. Like for example, I think Egypt is in this tier list, which is I think it's African, but like that's besides the point. I'm going to be ranking them off of like my personal preference of like aesthetic value that it has. This is my personal preference. This is completely for fun. Join me as we go through this. There's a lot of flags to get through. So let's just get into it. We're starting with the UAE. I mean, it's okay. You have four colors. I like the colors chosen. The black and white combination is kind of nice at the bottom. I never really noticed how they're directly on top of each other. But I mean, it's like kind of, it's just okay. So I think we'll put it at like C for now and we can switch it around as needed. Next we have Afghanistan, which I do like the color black on flags, I guess, and the red and green is also nice. Typical three vertical stripes, and you have the nice little emblem in the middle. I think I like it a little bit better, so I'm going to put it at B. Next is Armenia. Typical three-stripe flag, though the colors are a little bit different. You don't often see this yellowish orange, but again, it's nothing too special. I think I'm going to have to put it in the C tier. Next we have Azerbaijan. Also, these colors not super common on flags, especially this light blue. I kind of like that. You have your crescent and your star in the middle of it. I think it's pretty decent, but it's not super great. I'm feeling somewhere either low B or high C. Let's just put it at B for now. We can switch around as needed. We have Bangladesh, which is next. You got your green background with a red dot. The red dot's slightly off center, slightly to the left. There's a reason for that, but I kind of forgot what it was. I think it's nice. I think it's classic, but nothing about it is screaming like super exciting. So I'm gonna have to put that at, let's put it at B tier. I'm feeling I might have to push Afghanistan up a little bit. I really like it, but we'll come back to that later. So next we have Bahrain. A very interesting design with the zigzag. That's kind of uncommon, but it's red and white. I don't know, there's nothing much to say about it just besides that, oh, it's a zigzag. So I don't think I can put it any higher than B. Putting it at C would kind of be, I don't know. I feel like I don't like it as much as some of the B flags, so I'm gonna put it at C. Okay, next we have Brunei. Really interesting. The main color being yellow. You don't see that too often where the main color of the flag is yellow. You have your black and white stripes, which I like, and they're adjacent to each other. They're also coming at an angle, which is pretty nice. You have an emblem in the middle. I really like emblems. I think this is a pretty nice flag. I'm gonna have to put that at A tier. I really like the yellow predominant color. I think that's pretty cool. Next is Bhutan, which I think is one of like it's just everyone loves this flag. How can you not love it? It has a dragon on it for crying out loud. Yellow as the main color along with orange. I really like that pairing. You don't see these colors too often on flags, and they're together with each other on one flag with a dragon. That means it's our first S tier. What a great flag. Okay, so next we have China. I mean, a classic flag. It's very simple, but it's also quite beautiful. I like the stars and how they're different sizes, especially. The stars aren't randomly placed. There is some thought into it with these forming like a curved shape with one main star. I like that. I kind of like how it's in the top left as well. So a lot of great things going for this flag. I think I'm going to put it at A tier. I think it's pretty solid. Maybe I'll push it down to B tier in the future, but for now, I'm really liking it. Next, we have Cyprus, which I guess some people think might be European, but I guess it's in this tier list, which is completely fine. I'm a big fan of countries putting their country on their own flag. I just think that's a totally funny thing to do, and Cyprus is one of them. We also have these, I guess these are like tree branches or whatever, like some plant-like thing there, which is pretty nice. Though I'm not a big fan of how it's a completely white flag. Maybe I'll change my perception of like white backgrounds in the future. I have a couple flags in mind that I do like the white background, but I think just the white background with this dark orange shade, it just doesn't sit well for me. So that's gonna bump it down a little bit, but since it does show the country on it, it will be in B tier. I guess within the tiers, I'm not really ordering them, but whatever. Okay, so next is Egypt, which, I mean, I think it's an African country, but it is what it is. Not much to say about here. I feel like it's kind of similar to the UAE flag, where you have, 3 colors instead of 4, but now you have an emblem. The emblem is pretty cool, but I don't think it's good enough to bump it up to B tier, so we're going to put it in C tier. Next we have Georgia, and I don't know, like, as much as I try to like it, I can't get myself to really like it. I don't know it's just, maybe it's just all of these crosses, like in all the quadrants. Something about it is just a little off-putting to me. Again, not a huge fan of the white color, but I mean, it's a pretty solid flag overall. It's just something about the arrangement of these crosses isn't sitting well. Unfortunately, that's going to give us our first D tier. I like the country. The flag just doesn't sit well with me. Still pretty cool though, with all the crosses. Okay, next we have Indonesia. There's really not much to say. Like, we see so many flags in the world that are white and red, horizontal stripes. It could be white on top of red, it could be red on top of white, and so it's not really original. There's that confusing factor to it because you never know which country you're talking about, because there's so many that have this red white, so it's like it's not super original, it's not flashy, anything like that. So I think I will put it at C tier, maybe D tier. There's nothing super exciting about it. Okay, unfortunately I'll put it at D tier for now, but it has potential to move up. Next we have Israel. I really like this flag. I like the blue-white combination. I like how simple it is. Again, you have an emblem in the center. There's not much to complain about. I think this is a very solid A tier flag. And a similar thing now goes for India. I really like this color scheme of orange, white, green, and this is a really unique centerpiece of the flag here, this wheel thing here. I think it just comes together to put a really nice, clean flag. This will go in A tier as well. Okay, moving onwards, we have Iraq. Again, we're seeing these 3 colors. They come up often, red, white, and black. We have something in the center here, which seems like some sort of language. I do not know what it says, but I'd be interested to learn about that. I feel like it's pretty similar to Egypt here. The only main difference being the text here compared to this for Egypt. So I don't think they differ too much, so I think they belong in the same tier. We'll put it at C. Cool. Next is Iran. And, at face value might be like, okay, it has 3 stripes and then something in the center here. But I feel like I like it just a tad bit better. Maybe it's the little flourish going off on the sides of this white stripe. Or maybe it's just the symbol in the center is just different enough that I like it, or the color scheme. I'm not sure what about it, but something about this flag gives me a little bit more excitement than something like Egypt or Bahrain. So I think that'll put it at B tier. I really like this flag, actually. Next is Jordan. We finally see this kind of triangular structure in flags that we see in other countries as well, not so much in Asian countries, but for example, like the Czech Republic has it. So this one, it's nice. Again, typical colors for this part of the world: red, white, green, black. You have a little star there. There's not too much more to say about it. It's pretty similar to the UAE flag. I don't think anything about this pushes it up to B tier, so we'll keep it at C for now. Next is Japan. Japan is such a solid flag. I know I put Bangladesh at B, but I think it was mostly just like the green color. I don't know. I feel like Yeah, I feel like comparing green and red versus white and red, something about white and then the red dot, just I just like it a little bit better. I don't know why, and I know I just yelled at Cypress for having a white background, but something about this flag, it's classic. It's just simple. I think the dot is centralized. Not that the dot being off center is bad for Bangladesh. I actually kind of like it. Um, I don't know, something about this flag, it's just got to be A tier. It's just that that's just how it is. Okay, next we have Kyrgyzstan. Um, how can you not like this flag? It's so cool. I don't even know what that is in the center, but there's like a sun coming out of it. Like that flag is so cool. That's all I can say. It is just cool. It's got to be S tier. Cambodia, I like the blue and red. I like how they have this little temple here. It's a solid flag overall. I don't know if I can. Gosh, like if I compare it to some flags in B tier, like I like it better than Bangladesh. I kind of like it than Azerbaijan. I like it better than most flags in B tier, but I like the flags in A tier more than Cambodia. So I'm feeling in a good spirit. I'll give it A tier. I might switch it later. Next we have North Korea. Red, white, and blue color scheme. Circle with a star in the center. Not too much going on here, but nothing to make it too low on the tier list. I guess we'll give it B tier. Next we have South Korea. Again, white background. I called out Cypress for it, but for South Korea, I love it. I don't think any other color would work with the rest of the flag. I think it's perfect, that white color. I love how these lines are oriented. I think it's a perfect arrangement, how they're tilted slightly. The centerpiece with the red, blue, yin-yang thing, it's absolutely gorgeous. This is one of my favorite flags. I guess I never really put much thought into how much I appreciated it until right now. I think I have to put it at S tier. It is a very, very good flag. Yeah, I really like it. So that is South Korea. Next we have Kuwait. I mean, again, it's pretty similar to things we've seen before, UAE, Jordan, so I'll just put it at C tier. Okay, so next we have Kazakhstan. I really like this blue color. We saw the same blue color with Azerbaijan. I like this baby blue color. The centerpiece is really cool. You have this bird flying in the sun. It is a really, really nice flag. Gosh, I'm tossed between A and B tier, but like I don't think it belongs in B tier. I truly believe it belongs in A tier, so I'm going to put it there. Okay, up next we have Laos. It's good. It's good. I don't know why, but this circle in the center just makes this flag like a completely different beast. Like it's so distinctive. Like when you see this flag and you see that circle, you know it's Laos. And I know we've seen two circles before with Bangladesh, Japan, also one with South Korea, and I guess like some of these other ones, but this one is just so special for some reason. It's, oh my gosh, I really like it, but I don't think it belongs in the A tier. Just looking at the other flags in A tier, I don't think this necessarily compares to them. It puts up a good fight, but I think it belongs in B tier, unfortunately, but it's a high B tier. Okay, so up next is Lebanon. A tree in the center. You don't see trees very often. I think it's a cedar tree, if I remember correctly. Looks like a Christmas tree. I think it's pretty cool. I think just the one little complaint I have is the spacing. I don't like how the tip of the tree is so close to the line of where white meets red, and same with the base of the tree. I think either if the tree was a little bit smaller or the width of the stripes was changed a little bit, I would like it better. It just feels a little bit like tight and congested. So for that, it's going to change the ranking a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to bump it below a B. It's still a really solid flag, and I like the tree. Next we have Sri Lanka. I think this is a beautiful flag. I think it is the most. It's one of the most unique flags in the world, in my opinion. The ratio of the side lengths is quite unique as well, I believe. It's much longer than it is tall, whereas all these other flags have similar ratios. And something about the colors is just super nice. I love this like dark maroon color, and then you have this orange green as well, but it's all set upon this golden background, and it's not like a fluorescent yellow, it's this golden color. It just comes together for this really antique looking flag. And of course you have this amazing animal holding a sword. I think you can see where this is going. Sri Lanka, S for Sri Lanka, S tier. Great flag. Okay, up next we have Myanmar. Three colors, yellow, green, red, slightly unusual for this part of the world, and a star in the center. It's good. I like the colors. I just don't like how the star is white. I think that's the biggest thing. It kind of feels like it's cut out of the flag or something. At least me personally, I don't see that flag or the star on top of the flag. It almost feels as if it's like a void. And yeah, not really the biggest fan of the color of the star, but I like the idea, I like the colors. It's pretty solid all around. Excuse me, I think I'm going to put it at, it's a really reluctant C tier. It's a good flag, but it's like, I don't think I can put it up with these guys up here. Next we have Mongolia. This one's really interesting. I like the red and blue alternating vertical stripes, and I like how the design is on the left side of the flag as opposed to the center part of the flag. The colors red, blue, and yellow work really well with each other. I'm not exactly sure what this is depicting, but it seems like there's a bird on top, maybe a crescent and the sun, so maybe this is like the rising sun or something. Not sure what this triangle is. This is like the yin-yang symbol. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm sure this is very symbolic and means a lot. This is something I definitely want to research in my free time. I think this is a really nice flag. I think it's comparable to something like Cambodia. So I think I will put this at A tier. Something like that. Next we have the Maldives. I don't know. Just something about how the red border goes all the way around is a little bit offsetting for me. It feels like the green it's like mounted on top of a background or something. It looks like a picture frame kind of, which is unique and definitely special about it. I like the crescent in the center. I like the color scheme, green, red, white. But I don't know. I'm just not a big fan about how the red goes all the way around. So I think I will have to put it in C tier. Up next we have Malaysia. So this kind of flag where you have the blue in the top left and red and white alternating stripes. We see that with Malaysia, the United States, also Liberia. So not necessarily, unique, but it's special. Again, colors are nice. Red, blue, and that golden yellow is nice, and also some white in there. Yeah, nothing really special about it, but also nothing to complain about necessarily. For me, this would probably be a high B tier or a low A tier. I'm feeling pretty good today, so let's give it an A tier. I might move some of these A tier flags up to S tier. My eyes being especially at Japan and India. Maybe Israel, but we'll get to that later. Nepal, wow, this flag is something special. It's the only non-rectangular flag in the world. There's a lot of mathematics gone into designing this flag. If I remember correctly, Nepal's constitution describes how to construct this flag, the shape of it or something. I'm not entirely sure on that. That could be a fake fact, but I believe I read that somewhere. It's just so unique. It's just so special. I like these 2 points, like the double triangle on top of each other. You have your stars and the little crescent there. I think it's truly something special. but not special enough for S tier. This will go in A tier. Cool. So up next we have Oman. Oman is unique because it has this white, red, green thing off to the side, which we see here with the UAE, and then a vertical stripe on the left. But I kind of like how this red vertical stripe meshes in with this vertical or this horizontal stripe here. We have a little symbol at the top left, which is also unique. I would expect that to probably be in the center, but I do like how it's in the top left. It's a pretty nice flag. I like the colors, red, white, and green. Yeah, maybe you would like to see some other colors. Nah, I think it's fine as is. So I'm going to put it at B tier. Pretty solid flag all around. Next we have the Philippines. It's such a simple flag where you have this triangular shape here, which I referenced at the beginning, with white and then blue and red. You have that golden color, which I seem to really like. There's a little sun, but I think this star here just makes it something special. I don't know what about it, but something about it just makes it truly special. This flag is one of my favorites. I just like how simple it is, but how beautiful it is. I think I'm going to have to put it at A tier. What a good flag. Next we have Pakistan. I like the green-white color combination, especially the shade of green, how it's a bit darker than we see on other flags. Even compared to Bangladesh, I believe it's a little bit darker. I think that green and white goes together really well. You have the crescent, which is nice. You have the star, which is nice. Not too much to complain about. Gosh, it's either A tier or B tier. Let's put it at high B tier for now, but I might push it up to A tier at the very end. Next we have Qatar, and we see the zigzag pattern again, which we saw over here, except I like how there's more zigzags. I think that's pretty cool, but the colors just aren't necessarily doing it for me. I know in the past I really loved this flag, and I think I really liked this pinkish color as well. Not so much anymore, but I don't think it's going to go below C tier for me. It's pretty similar to the other zigzag one. Next is Russia. You know, you got your three stripes, white, blue, red. They're pretty solid. And compared to Armenia's red, blue, yellow, it's pretty similar. I don't know, nothing too special about it. I'll probably put it at C tier right next to Armenia, just because they're so similar to each other. Okay, up next we have Saudi Arabia, which has this green-white combination, which I really like, as we saw with Pakistan. The green is a little bit lighter, but I still think it's pretty nice how it works out. You have this Arabic inscription in it, and you also have a sword, which I really like. I think it's a pretty solid flag overall. Not too much to complain about. I think it's pretty cool. I've always really liked it. Again, I think I'll put it at B for now, but has potential for A tier. Up next is Singapore, which is similar to the Indonesian flag, which I put at D tier, but something about the crescent and the stars, it just makes it a completely different flag. I really like Singapore's. Do I like it more? Like, do I like it enough to put it in A tier? No. It's a good flag. The red-white color combination is nice, but I don't think it belongs any higher than B tier. It's a good flag, but not much to say about it beyond that. Next is Syria, which has, your typical red, white, black. It's special. It has 2 green stars, which I really like. I like how they're green. But again, nothing too special beyond that. It's similar to some of the other ones we've seen in C tier, but I don't think it's special enough to put it in B tier. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm not so sure I like Oman in B tier. At the time, I don't think it compares to these other flags, so I'm going to move Oman down to C tier, and I'm going to put Syria in C tier as well. Next we have Thailand. This is a really fun flag. The alternating red, white, blue, white, red, this palindromic color style, if you will. is really unique. But again, it's just stripes, but it is 5 stripes. I do like the difference in heights. I think that's pretty cool. But I do think that it's just going to be in B tier. It's a really good flag. I know a lot of people really like it, but for me, I can't put it at an A tier. It's a B tier flag for me. Up next is Tajikistan with its red, white, and green stripes. And of course, you got that center symbol that's golden color. You know how much I love that golden center or golden color. Pretty solid flag all around. Not quite sure what it is in the center. It looks like some stars and maybe like a crown of sorts. It's a good flag. Not much to complain about, but again, nothing too special. I think this is going to fall in B tier. Next we have Timor-Leste. We got this double triangle action going on. I really like the colors going white, black, and then yellow and red. The black and yellow combination is something I'm a big fan of, so that might bump it up a little bit, but I don't think there's anything special enough that puts it up in amongst the A tiers and things like that, so I believe it'll just stay in B tier. Up next is Turkmenistan. I really like this flag. I don't know why, but I really like it. I think it's this vertical stripe here. Something about the color and the design of it just makes me feel like it's like a gift or something. I don't know, if I saw this color and this style on like wrapping paper, it would be like, wow, that is such nice wrapping paper. I don't know, something about this is super nice. You also have the crescent and the stars, which I guess is technically in the middle of the flag, in terms of the width, not like in terms of the height. Like there's an equal amount to the left and right of the flag, but it doesn't feel like that. I like how this stripe is also not on the edge of the flag. It's a little bit off center. It's just so unique. The color combination works really well together. This is going to be an A tier flag. Really good flag. Turkey. Red, white, crescent, star. Simple, beautiful. Anything else to say? No. A tier. Taiwan. Red, blue, and white. That color combination we know works well. You got a white sun, which is fine. I don't know. I feel like something about these sharp corners isn't really doing it for me. Maybe the red is a little bit too bright for my liking. It's still a nice flag, but I don't think it's going to compete with some of the big ones. So we're going to put it in... okay, let's put it in B tier. Okay, up next is Uzbekistan. I like the color combination on Uzbekistan. This light blue, this white, and this light green. It really works nicely. I like how these stars are laying out in this 3 on top of 4 on top of 5, but it's like not this normal structure of stars. It's this trapezoidal shape almost. You got your crescent in there. And it seems like there's these red lines across it too, which like separates the colors. Again, I think the colors are unique. I think the style, especially of the stars, is unique. It just works well in my opinion. I'm going to put it in the A slot. Up next is Vietnam. Comparable to China's flag where it's red and yellow, but it's just 1 star and it's in the center. It's clean, it's nice, but I don't think it belongs in the A tier. I think it's going to go in B tier. You might be like, oh, but you put Turkey in the A tier. And yeah, I did. I just think the red-white combination works a little bit better. And I like how there's a crescent and a star. And this star is like slightly rotated, which I think is super cool, as if it's like part of this crescent. I don't know. Just something about it is really neat. And finally, our last flag is Yemen. I mean, it's just your red, white, and black stripes. We've seen so many of these. They're all in C tier. But they all have something in the center. Yemen doesn't. So it's like... I mean, I'd want to put it at C tier, but I don't think I can. I think it's going to go in D tier. It's just not as exciting as I want it to be. Let's do a little bit of rearranging. I really like the 4 flags we have in S tier, but I think we can put a couple more up here. I think India belongs in S tier. I think Japan belongs in S tier. Honorable mention to Israel, which I don't quite think I can put in S tier, so I'm going to put it at the top of A tier. The other ones in A tier that I really like are probably like something like this. Maybe yeah. So this top row is like my favorites of the A tier. These are like the A pluses, and these are the A minuses. What separates these mostly is like the simplicity of these flags, whereas the bottom ones just have slightly more going on. Let's see if anything in B tier can be put up to A tier. I think Pakistan deserves A tier. That is just such a nice flag. I've praised Laos, so I'm going to put that at the top of B tier because I think it belongs there. Thailand also should probably go at the top of B tier. Afghanistan is really an underdog. Like, I really like this flag. Just something about the colors is so nice, but no, I'm gonna keep it where it is. That's where I'm gonna keep it. And the rest of the list looks fine to me. So those are my rankings of flags. I hope you enjoyed them, but I really like this S tier here. You got Bhutan, you got Kyrgyzstan, you got South Korea, Sri Lanka, India, Japan. These flags are super nice. But I mean, honestly, all of these flags are super amazing. The more I look at it, the more I'm starting to like Georgia's flag, but for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it as is. So yeah, that completes this video on me ranking Asian flags. I'm going to do this for all of the continents, so I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, there you go. Those are my flag rankings, and as always, take care.